Hello traders, and welcome to Central Illinois. Today is Sunday, October 6th. I'm back in Illinois for mom's services and get together with family, etc. this week, but obviously want to get through the weekend update here. So 4 trades are currently open. There is an order out there, a GTC order that I floated out there on this one on Friday. And if the market stays chopping back and forth in this general range, I suspect that will hit maybe Tuesday, Wednesday, somewhere in that area as more decay happens and our T0 line moves up here. And that should close maybe in the 10-12% range if we stay in that general range. And the order I have out there is not going to fully close this trade, just to be clear. It's going to close this call spread and one of the put spreads. There still will be an open put spread that I would look to close after the order that's out there hits. This particular trade also has an adjustment on it, floating out there, mainly to close up this put spread, and that will greatly reduce our downside risk. And then after that were to happen, I also would look to basically balance out the remaining diagonal that's out there. Again, I explained that in the video, so you can, those of you that are part of the service can go back to the circle and see exactly what I was proposing there. This particular trade was the diagonal that I then extended out in time. So this doesn't expire for 40 days. It's going to decay very slowly as a result of that. But I will pull the plug on this if we get above this 5,800 mark. Looking at the SPX, if we get above 5,800, that kind of tells me I'm wrong, that maybe we're not going to back and fill a little bit. So I would pull the plug on that at that point. And again, I will not be watching these each day throughout the week. There's other things going on here with funeral services, etc. So it's possible that 5,800 gets exceeded, and then I won't be able to pull the plug on that until maybe the next morning or so. So I urge any traders to go ahead and set an alert and then be able to act on that if that alert is hit. FTNT continues to power along just fine. There's about $700 in decay that can happen on this over the next 40 days, boosting the P&L on this trade up to just around the $2,000 mark. And we haven't ever accepted assignment yet. We just keep rolling those puts, which is certainly a nice thing to have, to be able to generate that type of return and never actually owning the stock. Now, looking at the markets here, the SPX is pushing on the old highs here. We had 1, 2, 3, 4 days here where the market was kind of pushing up against that 57, 65 range or so. And then I thought we were starting to get a little pullback here on Friday before my flight left, but then when I get back and I checked after the flight landed, I see that we kind of rallied hard into the close. So this could potentially break out here. I mean, it is certainly showing some strength. It pulled back right to this, what I called kind of an area of support. Again, I had marked it as resistance previously all the way back in here, and I was expecting that it would roll back off that, which it did. Now that it's broken through, I should probably change this label to say that this is now likely an area of support. But again, we'll see how the market acts here over the next few days. If we get a pullback again to here and we bounce off that, I think it's a pretty safe bet we're going to be going higher at that point, in which case the one short call spread that's out there will likely get closed at that if we exceed that 5,800. Looking at RUT, although we don't have any trades open in RUT, here's RUT. It does appear to be adhering a little more to a range, but that's a pretty wide range. So still not interested yet in looking at a trade in RUT. If we were to get a pullback back here into this 2100 range, that's when it kind of piqued my interest a little bit to maybe consider a butterfly, because volatility will be up a little bit at that point. I'd be able to get a better price on my butterfly and possibly be able to put on a butterfly that wouldn't have any upside risk, just in case RUT ran back up and blew out the top of this channel again. Looking at volatility, we can see that volatility, while it did run up a little bit here into, oh, got a little squirrel right behind me. If the volatility did run up here a little bit later last week, and then it fell off as we rallied into the close on Friday, volatility dropped off. But it's still in that 18 range or so. So that still tells me there's a little bit of concern out there. This isn't all the way back down to 16, 15, 14, somewhere in that area. So there is still a little bit of general concern, if you will, in the market, people buying puts for protection or insurance, and that's maybe holding that volatility up just a little bit. So that is a possible indicator that we might be getting some pullback in SPX as we go into the next week or so. If SPX does in fact break out, this volatility is going to drop back down here into the 16, 15, maybe even 14 range. So that's the weekend update here for October 6th. I will be getting back home very late this week, and we'll be resuming, trading and operations from California as of this, well, I guess it would be next weekend. So take care, everyone. Have a good week.